Hi, my name is Catherine M. Walker. I'm an indie author with 6 self-published fantasy books, and I'm currently working on my 7th. I'm new to vlogging. I'm going to see how well I do at this. So far this week, all I've managed to do is get a little bit of footage of a boiling kettle while I made some coffee. And that's about it. But hey, we'll get there. This particular update I have tried to film about 4 times, and that didn't work so well. I'm down at my sister's place at the moment. My sister and brother-in-law's just helping out. And so this entire week in my planner, I marked that I was going to be away. It's not such a bad setting to be in. And that my writing was flexible. So any words I get is absolutely fine as far as I'm concerned. And I have actually gotten some writing done, which is a surprise to me entirely, and I'm really happy with that. A couple of the days it's been a couple of 100 words, a few other days it's been a couple of 1,000. So given I didn't really expect any at all for this week, that's a pretty good result. My current project that I'm working on is called Project Warlord. It's a companion novel. Well, it won't be a novel. I'm hoping it will be a novella length. It is a companion to my most recent series, which is Emergence. That's complete if you're looking for something to read. But the novella is about one of the characters in that series called the Warlord. I do believe I explained this in my previous update, but basically this is just a tiny snapshot and shows when he went from being just a plain warrior to becoming the Warlord of Yaleska. So that first step up in the path to becoming known as the Warlord, where he wiped out basically all of the other warlords that were in this this domain, and it all became his essentially. Right now it's about 75% done. So I have a little bit more to do. I do plan to get some writing done this afternoon. And if you can hear that noise, that would be my little furball who is trying to chase flies at the moment down here in the bush. What was I saying? Yeah, it's about 75% done. I'm planning to get some writing done today. We'll see how it goes. When I last left off yesterday, I was partway through a chapter. I didn't mind leaving off where I was so much. It was a natural breaking point. So the scene, or the last half of this chapter that I'm about to bounce into, is basically a fight scene. So that should be a bit of fun to write. The issue that I have is that I'm also a bit of a discovery writer. So sometimes I'll head into my writing, I'll know what I'm going to write. So in this case, I'm going to write the fight scene. And Paul will be my point of view character. And then I sit down, I start to write, and before I know it, I'm writing off with an entirely different character, say the Warlord, and he's eating dinner or whatever. It turns out to be something entirely different to what I actually expected it to be. But I don't know, either way, it's still words and it's still a scene and a chapter. I'm just hoping that I will finish my current chapter and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to get writing and I'll update you later. Bye. I've moved locations, as you can probably tell. I was just back there earlier in the bush. It was a little bit quieter there to try to film an update. Earlier I got interrupted by vacuuming and then the dogs barking, and then some work was going on. The light moved. Can't control that as the day moves on. So now I'm at the table outside and I'm going to get some writing done. Let's see how it goes. Good morning. It's another day, obviously, so it's Thursday today, although I don't know what day it's going to be when I post this. I meant to do an update yesterday when I finished writing, but that obviously didn't happen. I didn't do too badly yesterday. I got 2,000 words, just over 2,000 words done yesterday. I finished the scene that I wanted to finish, and then got some of the next scene chapter done as well. I didn't finish the chapter I've started, but I think the chapter I'm working on at the moment or want to work on today will fit before in the timeline of events the one I did yesterday. I guess that's one of the issues of being a discovery writer. Maybe not all discovery writers, but in my case, I don't write in order either. So as I'm writing a scene or a chapter, my brain goes off on a tangent and I pick up another idea and a thread and I realize, oh wait, this will come before what I'm writing now. So last night before I went to bed, I just dropped an extra chapter in between what I'd been, or just before what I'd been working on. So I'll see how I go today. It's about 10 a.m. at the moment. I've had my first coffee for the day. I've been out, helped, done a little bit of weeding in the garden, and now I've just come back in for another cup of coffee, although this one is decaf. I try only to have one caffeinated drink a day. Sometimes I might have two, not very often. I don't know how much I'll get today. Depends on how many other things I need to do, or help with rather. I think tomorrow I won't get much done, just simply because I think I'll be driving home tomorrow back to Perth. So that day will basically be a write-off. It's not that far, to be honest. It's only about 2.5, 3 hour drive. Maybe 3.5 if I stop somewhere for a coffee or something on the way home, and to give my little fluff ball a chance to go out and have a walk and a pee. Although she's nearly 2 now, so she can actually go the whole journey without me having to stop on the way. So that's the plan, I think. Hopefully I'll put another update in today when I've done some writing, or if I do some writing. As I said, my writing days while I'm down here are flexible, so I'm going to have my coffee and my orange, and then catch up with my planner and my diary, writing my word count that I did yesterday, and we'll go from there. So today is Sunday. It's normally the day I do my planning for the week ahead that's coming, but I also look back on the week I've had just to assess how much writing I got done, the progress I essentially made. I'm reasonably happy with how last week went. I ended up with just under 10,000 words. It was about 9,800 for the week. Given I was away and my week was a flex week when it came to writing, I'm reasonably happy with the progress I made.
particularly since I really wasn't expecting to get any at all. I drove back here to Perth on the Friday. That was a bit of a washout. I was going to get some writing done in the afternoon. I should have gotten back in plenty of time. Unfortunately, we had a bit of a traffic issue. I don't know why, but basically the highway turned into a parking lot there for a small space of time. I'm guessing there must have been an accident at some point that was cleared by the time I got through there, because I certainly didn't see why the traffic was that backed up, but that's the breaks, that's the way it happens. And then yesterday was Saturday. I don't know what happened to Saturday. It was one of those days where I was running around doing a lot of stuff, but at the same time feels like I didn't achieve anything at all. Either way, one of those things I didn't achieve was writing. Didn't get that done either. So I guess in some ways that's why I'm really happy with the week I've had. Because even though the last 2 days were a washout when it comes to my writing, I still got really close to 10,000 words, and they're still today. So I'm figuring by the time I get to the end of today, I'll probably click over that 10,000 word mark. So I'm happy. Well, let's face it, I'm happy regardless of whether I click over the 10,000 for the week. And then I've got some other things to do that aren't really to do with writing. I want to get into my front garden. It's a bit of a mess at the moment with more weeds than anything else. And then hopefully this afternoon, I will get into some actual writing and maybe tick off that 10,000 words. I'm hoping by the time I get to at least the end, close of business on Monday, so before I go to bed, that I will have I might have the rough draft for the Warlord finished. I am really, really happy and that it's nearly done, and quite frankly looking forward to putting it down, because once I get that done, then I get to dive into a whole new world, which I'll talk a little bit about that once I get to it. Right now I need to focus on getting the rough draft, my initial draft for the Warlord, done. Okay, I'll leave it there and I'll get some planning done. Well, I've just finished my planning for Q4 and for the week ahead. I did my weekly review. I just said all of that backwards, but I'm sure you understand where I'm at. It took me about an hour and a half, I guess. That's probably because I was looking forward not only to October, but November and December as well. I'll give the final update for this vlog tomorrow, or that's what I think I'll do, given that will be the end of September. So it'll be the 30th tomorrow. And then we kick into Q4. I'm really excited now that I've written things out as to what I plan to do. There are 2 challenges coming up for Q4. One is the Rough Draft Challenge with Sarah Cannon, so on the Heart Breathings channel. That's to replace the National Novel Writing Month. There was a bit of a controversy this year and apparently last year. I'd never really participated in that before, but I think I might do something this year, simply because, well, not the National Novel Writing Month, because there's a lot of people not doing it and I don't agree with the statement they made, but I'm actually drafting for the first time when this time of year, when there's lots of writing challenges on, I'm actually going to be rough drafting, so I might as well participate in a couple of them. That will be Project Dragon, which I'll explain to you coming up as soon as I am allowed to jump into it, or allowing myself to jump into it. But the second challenge is one by a writer, Kate Kavanagh, and she proposed 100K in Q4. I think that could be a little bit extreme. Well, not really. I'm quite capable of writing 100,000 words in 3 months, but I am kicking off a new idea and a new story. Traditionally, when I start off, I have pretty low word counts until I get past about the 30,000 word, and that's when things start rolling, when I know what the story is and who the characters are. So we'll see how it goes. It's not a bad goal to have anyway. It'll give me something to aim for and something to track progress for. But anyway, this is what my planner sort of looks like now that it's got some stuff in it. And I did basic for November and then a basic for December as well. There's probably going to end up more going in there as we progress, but at the moment October's looking pretty good. That's famous last words territory going there, so knock on wood, we'll see how things go. But for now I am going to shut all of this down. It's a lovely day outside, or it was the last time I saw, and I'm going to get some gardening done. Hopefully I'll check back in this afternoon after I've had some writing done as well. See ya. Good morning. I figured I should just come on, do a short little clip to close off for this video before I post it. I did not get back to you. I really do have to work on that, right? But either way, the good news is I have finished with Project Warlord, which I am really happy about. Or at least I've finished with the rough draft. It's certainly not ready to be read in any way, shape or form, but I'm ready to put it aside for a bit, which I'm really, really happy with. It's not the fastest I've ever written. In a lot of ways, it was quite slow for me. I did have some other things that cropped up that I kept pushing it aside to do those things. One of those being getting my YouTube channel up and running, which I'm glad I've done. It's more of a long-term project, but we'll see how that goes. I did find as I was writing for a short story that I kept writing off on tangents. So I'd be following Paul one moment and then writing a scene with how Michael was going, and so when he was younger, before the Warlord conquered Valentia, and realized no, that's not what this story is. So I had to pull all of those things out. Obviously didn't delete them, never know, I might write another short story capturing that moment in time, who knows. But either way, right now for Project Warlord, I have a beginning, a middle and an end that I'm actually happy with. So it's not all finished. I've got extensive notes in some sections that I need to actually fix up, but that's more rewriting revision than it is drafting, or at least for the initial draft. It's done, it's good. The next time when I dive back into it, I will read through it while making notes for myself, and then the rewrite will commence. I'll dive more into that writing process when I get up to it. Suffice to say, for now, it's done. I'm really happy with that. I'm going to take a couple of days downtime, and then I'm going to basically jump into my new project, which at the moment I'm calling Project Dragon. So brand new world. It's got dragons and gods and hybrids and all sorts of things in it. Entirely new world, entirely new magic system as well, possibly dual. We'll see how that goes. I'm really excited by that. I have been writing in the same world since about 2015, when I first picked up the first book in this series, because both my series to date are based in the same world. So it'll be really, really nice to get onto something different. It's not the end.
for this world, by the way. I do have another series which will fit between Emergence and my first series, so The Being of Dreams. It's essentially the time for those who've read The Being of Dreams, or perhaps listening to the audiobooks. This is the series that details the time of the Sundered War, essentially. So Edward, Cal and Kat and their era, and when the magic system went wrong. So I still have to write that one, but I will not be writing that in the immediate future. That will be put on a shelf, and I will do that after I've drafted my next series. So, or at least that's what I'm planning to do at this point. So I'll let you go for now. Please like, subscribe, listen to the audiobooks. I've put them up there so you can do that if you choose. And I will see you next week. Bye.